Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody, and a warm welcome to you, depending where you are in the world. If you are coming to us from the Northern Hemisphere in Europe, I am extending a very warm welcome to you. With the climate and the weather patterns you've been having there, I'm coming in to you from South Africa, and I'm going to be introducing you to other MetaCoach partners from around the globe. But we love to always know who it is that we're talking to. So I really want to encourage you to familiarize yourself, go down to the chat function. Please tell us where you're joining us from, what country you are in, and if this is the first time that you are joining us on a blockchain course. And maybe if you just want to put between 1 and 5, 1, I'm here to learn, 5, I know a little bit about cryptocurrency, but I want to understand how better I can leverage this particular space. It would be awesome to hear and to see who it is that we are talking to today. My name is Janine Stocker, and as I said, I want to extend a really warm welcome to you to this free blockchain course. At the outset, I do just want to say to you that the coaches I'm going to get to introduce you to today do this out of their own free will and their own free personal time, where they have gone and acquired knowledge that they feel absolutely passionate about sharing with the global community to help people get educated to be able to make the right and responsible choices. There is no doubt there's been a lot in the news about cryptocurrencies in the last couple of months that cause a little bit of unease and confusion for people. And I trust that after we've spent some time with you today, you will have a better understanding to make better choices for you. Our session is planned to be 3 hours. We could finish under the 3 hours. We are going to take 2 breaks in between, 2 body breaks where you can go and get yourself a cup of poison of your choice and a body break and some fresh air. We will also be sharing different difficulty levels with you. So technical difficulties are going to change throughout the session. I just want to urge and invite you upfront to stay with us. Just stay with us and stay with the community that is here to answer your questions and to help you understand and feel supported. So pen and paper would be advisable for you to have. And if you are watching on one device and have access to another device, that's also possibly a suggestion. What I do want to say up front, the recordings of today's session will be made available to you, as well as every single link to any other page we're suggesting that you click onto, or exchange you need to join, etc. All of those links will be sent to you in the body of the email with the recording. So don't stress or panic if you haven't had time to write it down. You will be able to stop, rewind, pause, go back on the recording, as well as click on the links in the email that gets sent to you, possibly on Monday. And with that, I want to just say a huge thank you up front to Natalie, who's one of our coaches. She's based in Dubai. She manages all of the admin in the background. She's the one who sent you your link to get registered and to be on today's session. And I want to just say a huge thank you to Natalie for everything she has done within this particular space this year, because this is our last session of 2022. Can you believe it? We're nearing the end of the year. And I know some of the presenters are going to share their thoughts with you, but as we head into 2023, I've been hearing a lot of noise that crypto is the space you want to be part of in 2023. So congratulations for jumping on to today's blockchain course. The first meta coach I would like to introduce you to is a gentleman who's become a really good friend. He is based in Salt Rock in North Coast, Durban, South Africa, originally from Zimbabwe, but he'll share his story with you. He is married with 2 sons. He has been full-time, hear this carefully, full-time in the crypto space for the past 5 years, earning only and sustaining his family only through cryptocurrencies. So someone that you really want to listen to. Garth also consults to startups and blockchain projects, and he has a very simple, beautiful quote: "Education beats speculation every time." So congratulations on getting educated as I introduce you to our first coach this morning, Garth Richmond. Thank you, Garth.
Hey there, thanks Janine, and a warm welcome to everyone from all over the world joining our workshop today. I am coming to you from my cell phone and I'm on data. We are having a bit of internet and power issues today, but I trust that we should get the message across perfectly fine. So in general, we feel as a group of coaches who have been going through lots of different courses, getting trained up for the benefit of everyone, that quite possibly right now is the single best time where you could be looking at this industry. From a fundamental point of view and from a technical point of view, we feel it's an absolutely perfect time. So well done for plugging in, and literally let's get started. So I am on a new phone, so I might have a few little hiccups getting to where I want to go, but I'm sure you can bear with me. I'm going to start sharing screen. So I'm not host yet for some reason. Natalie, can you just look at that?
Garth, if you're okay with it, I forgot one very, very, very important thing in my introduction, and that was the $500 giveaway. Stay until the end, people. Don't leave this call. Stay to the end, because we will be giving away $500 worth of cryptocurrency to one lucky winner at the end of this call, but you've got to be on the call to win it. So thanks, Garth, for that little commercial break while you're getting yourself set up as host.
All right, perfect. So let's get started. I should be able to. Sorry, Janine, are we good to go?
I'm not seeing your screen, Garth. Have you shared your screen?
Not seeing my screen.
No.
Yeah, hold on a sec. Let me just check that one of my settings here is good to go. Zoom. Okay. All right, I've activated that now.
Okay, it says screen sharing started.
All right, are we good to go?
We can see your phone.
Yes.
Yep. Yes, there we go.
All right, perfect. I'm just going to turn it sideways so I can get a better viewpoint of these slides as we into the first slide. All right, so welcome to everyone. As Janine said, she did mention that we are going to be looking at different technical difficulties. This session has just got a technical difficulty of 4. It is going to ramp up to about the 8s. And then the third session comes back down to about a 6.
Garth, can I maybe ask you to select slideshow at the top there, just so that it can be a little bigger on the screen?
Oh, there we go. Thanks. Sorry.
Beautiful.
New phone.
Beautiful. Thank you.
And we're getting there. All right, perfect. Let's get started with the disclaimer. This course is for educational purposes, and we make all the effort to accurately represent the crypto markets and platforms at today's date. Changes in the market and platforms and products shared will change over time. So we're not financial advisors. We're not going to be offering financial advice. We're not tax specialists either. Please do go and speak to your tax advisor if that is a concern for you. Your jurisdiction is different to mine, and therefore, as we're in this nascent industry, they have their own versions of how they're going to be looking at that. The markets are considered high risk. Apply common sense and good risk strategies when launching any capital into any new markets and technologies. So what is the big deal with blockchain? Well, what you guys will start to see as you're looking into this more and more, that it's actually the evolution of one of, or two of, the biggest things that we deal with in the world right now. And an area which is, those areas are both crucial to us in many aspects, and they actually need to be evolving right now. The first one is the internet itself. This is an evolution of what we call going into Web 3.0. So the first versions of the internet for 15 years was just email, and we're wondering what the big deal was about internet at the time. That evolved into Web 2.0 at the advent of the www moniker and everything going around that. And I'm sure you'll agree that it's a place that's been needing to evolve. We need it, we use it so much. but we know that we have many concerns with how it is operating right now. So you'll see the big deal with blockchain is the evolution of not just the internet, but potentially the whole evolution of money as well as we go forward. So those are two major aspects in our lives. And we feel that blockchain definitely is the solution, and it's proving that more and more. So when you look at the internet versus blockchain, they're both highways. The internet has no fences on its highways, has no real security. There's so many ways where your information, your data can get hacked, utilized, abused without your consent. And of course, we're dealing with finances on the internet as well. And it's definitely a very big concern with how the internet is at this current time. You've seen fines from major companies, that things that we're using all day, every day, and breaches continuously happening in the space more and more and more. So when you compare it to blockchain, blockchain is ring-fenced. It has borders preventing information that we're sharing being hacked and utilized for bad reasons. So the blockchain has got a big border fence. If I send information from me to you, I know that via the blockchain it's going to be protected, secured, and it remains in our purview, versus the internet, which is a giant photocopying machine. So in terms of security, it definitely ticks off that box. It's a major aspect of what blockchain offers. If you're going to compare banking versus blockchain, you'll know that banking is a centralized ledger. It has a central fulcrum point which manages everything, and that has to be a concern. If it's not a concern for you right now, that really should be, because we're on a fulcrum point. If that fulcrum point or failures or hack to do with the finances operating within that bank or that banking company. And we're seeing numerous things in the news about it. And in fact, banks are some of the most highly fined places around the world. And we're seeing issues coming up all the time. And this is involving our money that we're using every day. When you're looking at blockchain, its ledger is distributed. There is no one single fail point, no one single fulcrum point or single node where if that is compromised, then there's going to be issues. Banking is a distributed ledger over a variety of nodes all around the world, and thus protecting the whole platform, its backbone, which makes it a very great place to build off from. It's transparent, it's open, you can see it on the blockchain, you can see all the transactions, you can see the timestamp, you can prove that I sent this to you and vice versa, and we don't have to go to court to dispute what actually happened. It's all there on the open ledger. In fact, if I think a better analogy for it is, for me, it is a book, a ledger of accounts. And in real time, we can see the entire transactions happening. But no one in the world has a pen strong enough to change any of that information. All right, so those are the big differences we see with blockchain. So transparency, that's ticking off a major box. And it's going to prevent many, many disputes down the line. 100 years down the line, we'd better see what our grandchildren will better see what we did at this time, at that date, and they better go and check and verify that. So we talked about Web 3.0, the evolution of the internet itself. Think of it as an evolution of layering. I don't know if many of you guys have been to Salt Rock, Ballito, this town area, but 150 years ago, I'm sure you'll agree, it's just a piece of land and bush. Now it's with a whole bunch of services available for us. And when you start off layers, building off anything you want to provide the simple services, your water, power infrastructure, and things like that. So with cryptos and blockchain, we have what's called a mainnet, which is your foundation, your base layer. That's your services, your plumbing, going into the ground before people are really starting to build up their towns and cities. The next layer that has come in is exchanges, wallets, and vaults, allowing us to store information, exchange information, keep it secure, and build off that. The next layer coming in, we're seeing in the crypto space is liquidity, capital rewards, mining, farming, staking aspects, giving us options, giving us platforms that we can operate and move in. Now we're in a fourth layer where there's major trading going on, gaming or gamification, we like to call it, things like NFTs, secure communications happening. And this is a continuous evolving space as it's building up to become the Web 3.0. So that's adaptability as it grows out. So that's another third great box to tick off. So we've heard blockchain, yes, you've heard about cryptocurrencies, but there is definitely a difference between them. How are they linked? What is their main difference? So let's go through that. Each blockchain is a road, is a highway, the same like the internet is as well. When you have more traffic using the road, the higher the value of that road becomes over time. And each blockchain, each of those roads is represented by a cryptocurrency. So when there's more traffic on the road, the higher the value of the road goes, and the higher the value of that cryptocurrency becomes, because there is more demand, more use cases, more reasons to use it. So in simple terms, cryptos are tradable digital tokens that represent the value of the technology, services, or products that use its blockchain. The more use, the more users, the more value flows into it over time. Think of stocks and shares, Amazon's, Tesla's. They are tradable shares representing the value of the services, technologies, or products that are produced by those companies. The more use cases, the more users of that company's products, the more value flows into those shares over time. Similar, think of fiat currency, rands, dollars, pounds, euros. They are tradable currencies representing the value of the technology, services, or products produced by that country. The more use, the more users of that country's products, the more value flows into those currencies. So essentially, cryptocurrency combines the best of both of these old world concepts and much more. So if you want to compare it to stocks and shares, investing stocks and shares, there are similarities, but very different. You want to compare it to money, yes, there's similarities, but very different. And way, way, way more. The biggest question we get, the biggest concern about new entrants into this industry aren't cryptocurrencies very volatile? Simple answer is absolutely yes. Over time, you'll see huge periods of growth in the value of cryptocurrencies, the total market cap of all cryptocurrencies over time. And you'll also see periods of aggressive retracements happening in this space. Absolutely very volatile at this stage. Think of it more like seasons. Think of it more like cycles. Seasons, summer, autumn, winter, and spring. We have our periods of summers. We have our periods of autumns, where it's a bit of a slowdown from aggressive growth. We have winters, which are your retracement periods. And then we have springtime. Springtime is one of the best places to get involved. Learn in the winters, position yourself during spring times, because after spring comes summer. And we feel, and Eugene will show you on the technical analysis of it, why we feel we're ending our winter time, we're heading into spring, and why this time is so important. So two aspects that we feel people should be doing. Yes, you want to get the timing right. That's great, but the industry's too new to get that bang on. But once you're spending time in the markets, then you really start to to maximize, capitalize from everything that's going on. So timing and spending time in are both crucial things to get involved in. So we're seeing major blue chip companies getting involved all the time. JP Morgan's, MicroStrategy's, Grayscale, deploying huge amounts of capital, preparing it for their customers, having offerings available for the big institutional investors out there. Because previously, crypto hasn't been so much about institutional investors, only up until the last few years. But that's definitely changed. It's been more about small individuals getting involved. But now we're seeing the advent of the major institutions coming in. We're seeing countries, we're seeing states, we're seeing provinces accepting, wanting to position themselves for it, wanting to protect their people, getting involved as well, and definitely have some times looking at El Salvador as a country, how they aggressively transitioned from their broken fiat system into Bitcoin, and how they've been tracking over the last 2 or 3 years. The transformation, the change has been truly phenomenal. A lot of countries are watching them to also start to adopt that, but they've been an excellent role model. Even in their crime limit, their amount of crime involved has drastically come down. They're moving away from cash money on the street, which is where 99% of all crime takes place, using fiat money, government money, dollars, and they're transitioning with this technology, and it's awesome to see how they are moving forward with that. So your next question could be, well, which cryptos are good to get started off with? Before we answer that, we want to show you 4 different kinds of accounts that we talk about. The first one is your initial primary account. We call it your principal account, how to get started and set up with there. That'll be in my section covering that. Later on, the team is going to be showing you how to set up performance accounts, potential accounts, how you can see growth, yield, positioning yourself, a whole bunch of new interesting things that are getting involved with. And of course, we do have pay card platforms, MasterCards, where you can get in and out, take profits, spend, live full-time. So actually, this past November was my 6th-year anniversary of full-time into crypto. My first 3-4 years, we didn't have access to MasterCards and be able to cash out. I didn't have a bank account for 6 years. So it was difficult, but I proved the point that we could do it even at that time. Now it's becoming so much easier where you can live. I'm living just like any normal person without a bank account because I can seamlessly get involved with the use of things like MasterCard. So setting up a principal account, we recommend looking at these 4 cryptocurrencies as forming the main part of your start-off portfolio. Bitcoin will show you the charts. He's the big daddy, been around the longest. We would recommend, we don't advise, 40% of your holdings should be in Bitcoin. The next 2 cryptocurrencies, BNB, Ethereum, they're the next 2 that are capturing the most trade volume. We suggest potentially holding 20% in each of those 2. And Tether, that's USDT, that is a stable coin. We recommend having 20% of that because that is what you would use to deploy to set up other different potential and performance accounts for you. So different cryptocurrencies. Well, there's 2 good aggregator platforms we recommend you look at. One is called coinmarketcap.com. The other one is coingecko.com. I'm actually going to jump out of this. I want to go online and go and have a look at coinmarketcap.com. So just type in coinmarketcap into your browser, coinmarketcap.com. A look, see. So this is CoinMarketCap. And you'll notice there's a huge amount of information involved. Sorry, new phones that wants to install and set up everything. At the top, you will see cryptos, 22,057 different kinds of cryptos that CoinMarketCap is tracking, watching, analyzing, sharing information on, 534 different exchanges, a total market cap of $804 billion US, with a 24-hour trade volume of $50 billion. $50 billion of trade in the last 24 hours. And this is a Saturday. Stock market's closed, banks are closed. Crypto doesn't stop because it doesn't need to have people exchanging wealth. I mean, it doesn't need to have companies involved, people stopping, agreeing, or letting you do transactions. This is just people to people trade all happening. You'll see Bitcoin's dominance currently is 40%. That means Bitcoin holds 40% of the entire market cap. And that is why we suggest 40% is a great starting point. Ethereum on 18%, we suggest hold maybe 20% in Ethereum. Here are your top few coins. Bitcoin's at the top, Ethereum's in second. Those are its current values. There is its hourly trade, is its 24-hour trade, 7-day trade, its market cap, and its trade volume. So Bitcoin, $25 billion of that is in Bitcoin, 10 billion of daily trades in Ethereum at the moment. Tether is 35. It's actually more right now because people are using that to get in and out of all the various different ones. And you'll see BNB, Binance Coin in 5th place in 1.5. So this is where the bulk of the trade is happening, because these are tried and tested cryptocurrencies. Therefore, they should form the bulk part of your portfolio. All right, so how do you get your fiat money into these different cryptocurrencies? Your rands, euros, pounds, dirhams, ringgits, yen, whatever currency you're using, all you need to go through an exchange. You're starting off with those currencies that you use. You need to go through an exchange. You're going to get into Bitcoin first, and then you want to position some of that into Binance, Ethereum, and USDT. Before we start to look at all the craziness happening, and yes, it's definitely the Wild West. Yes, there's huge opportunities on making great gains and all the other 22,000 different cryptos and projects. But you only want to use a small amount of your capital for doing that. We're going to be showing you some options on what you can do with a portion of that, but definitely you want to hold your bulk in those 4. So what kinds of exchanges? What are they? What are the ones that are best to use? You need to understand firstly that there are 2 different kinds of exchanges. There are centralized exchanges, CEXs, and decentralized exchanges, DEXs. Centralized exchanges are people powered. We pay them to use the services. They've got compliance teams, regulations, audits. They have to provide liquidity, and they charge us to use those services. Decentralized exchanges are quite different. They are contract powered. There's no people involved. That is all pure blockchain technology happening that side. When we deploy capital liquidity into DEXs, we can get paid for doing that because we're providing liquidity there. So through your CEXs, they receive fiat money. You'll need to register with them, email, password, do your KYC, which is know your customer. And through them, you can exchange through your bank account or your cards and go in there and purchase cryptocurrencies. Through DEXs, they will not deal with fiat money. So you'll need to have cryptocurrencies first. When setting up DEXs, you'll use a 12 or 24 word key phrase and passwords to protect yourself. There's no one holding your custody of your funds in DEXs. So different kinds of centralized exchanges, Nexo, Binance, Luno, altcoin trader here in South Africa. You guys might be using a whole bunch of different ones. Those are some that we see. Decentralized exchanges, PancakeSwap and Uniswap are currently the two biggest at the moment. There's variety and a lot of growth happening in that space. So one of the main principal accounts where you want to go and use as an exchange, we recommend is Nexo, nexo.io. From what we've seen, it is the most secure, audited, insured, centralized exchange around the world. And I'm actually going to do a bit of a dive into there. This is going to form part of your principal account. And you can use other exchanges for it. Just Nexo can do so much more and it's so much more secure. Within that, you want to set up a 40%, 20%, 20%, 20% ratio in your principal account. So we're going to go through a quick setup, how to get started with Nexo, how to check out and investigate these different platforms, check out its audits and insurance, see how it accepts their payments, Visa, MasterCard, how their KYC is done, how the exchange works, how they have an interest earning capability, and how they also have a loan capability. All right, so very few platforms can do this legally, and we feel Nexo is definitely the bomb for that. So I'm going to go back onto internet, take you into nexo.io. Please do it with me. If you haven't set up one yet, we can go and do our research first and do our simple setups. So on my phone, it's going to look different to how it looks on your laptop. They do have an app in the App Store and Play Store where you can use that, but a simple online plugin can work. So the markets, they've got most of the major markets involved. You can see all supporting assets. It's pretty comprehensive. It's going to take me there now, or not, or to pull up an error. Let's go back into there. So they're dealing with a variety of different cryptocurrencies, a variety of different stable coins, and fiat as well. Their products are comprehensive. You can buy different cryptos, earn interest, exchange your cryptos, do some trading. You can borrow funds, apply for an Nexo card, and a variety of things. And now setting up a new wallet platform, which we started, and they've got different programs associated with all of that. Do go into their security side, see how their fundamentals are working to safeguard your assets. Go and do some research around that. You can go and see their models, how they do their audits, the risk management, their insurance, the global licensing, and everything. It's a great information platform. Back into security, find any other centralized with as much licenses involved. I can literally just keep on scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Yes, it's America heavy, all the different states, because each different state has a different version of how they're doing the regulation and licensing. But of course, they've got international licensing and regulation as well. So we could keep on going down and down and down. It's very, very comprehensive indeed. So let me go back to security again. Go look at how they do their real-time audit. This is very important because we're seeing a lot of centralized exchanges failing in this aspect, losing trust, faith, and also losing people's money, to be honest. It's still nascent industry. There's still lots of regulation to come and play, but definitely have a look at how that works. Back one step and go and look at their insurance, how their custody insurance is working. Very, very important. Do your due diligence. So I can actually go out of there. Let me go back one step. Get to the top. Very simple. They have a big green button there. You can hit get started. So hit that. As we said, centralized exchanges, you're going to be dealing with emails and passwords. Set up an email, set up a password, and go and create your account. We're not going to go in depth with this today. You'll need to go and verify your email, get set up, and go and spend some time rummaging through how you can deploy your fiat money and get into cryptos, namely the top 4 big 4. That's as far as we're going to go with regards to setup, because we do have a full support team showing you how you can do that. It goes through the hurdles. They've got a great support aspect there as well. So literally that's as simple as what we want to show you regarding Nexo. Okay, so that's a quick Nexo. I'm going to stop sharing here. And I'm going to need to go to there, stop sharing. I just have a quick eyeball before we hand over. Watch what Eugene's going to be talking about in terms of technical analysis. I've shown you quite a bit of fundamentals behind cryptos and cryptocurrencies. Eugene is going to be running through you technical aspects behind cryptos. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to me waffle on. Janine, back to you.
Thank you so much, Garth. It's just amazing how you've been able to conduct that presentation from the phone. It's just fantastic. We lost you a little bit along the way, a little bit shaky, but we got the gist of it. And everybody, as Garth and I said earlier, you will receive the links to be able to go onto Nexo and go and open yourself up an account. It is really quite simple. And again, because it's so audited and regulated, you are going to be needing to give your information, but that's what keeps it secure. So Garth, thank you so much for that. The history and how the difference between the internet and blockchain, really, really fantastic. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and expertise in such a simple way. Really, really appreciate it, and appreciate you being committed to the goal and the role despite your technical challenges. Thank you so, so much. We really value that and appreciate that. As Garth said, we've been shown what are cryptocurrencies as opposed to fiat currencies. We've had a look at what the size of the market is, but what does it actually look like in the marketplace? Again, our technical difficulty changes from time to time, but I'm going to hand you into the very, very capable hands of my next Meta Wealth Coach. He's a gentleman who is a calculated investor in property and cryptocurrency. We call him the numbers guy, because this is an individual who absolutely gets numbers completely. He is really good at analyzing, taking a whole lot of numbers that for many of us, I know for myself, looks completely confusing, and putting it into an easier to understand way. And I'm going to introduce you to Eugene Blichnote, who is the father of 2. And Eugene believes you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. All of you have chosen to start today to learn. So again, I want to congratulate you. Eugene is now going to take you through what do the markets look like and give you a little bit more information. So thank you so much, Eugene. It is the 17th of December, 2022. So obviously, whenever you're watching this recording, the information is applicable today. Thanks, Eugene.
Awesome. Thanks, Janine. Thank you so much. For everyone on the call, as I start off, let me give you a little bit of background on myself. I'm Eugene Blichnote. I've been in cryptocurrencies for almost 7 years now, looking at everything that's got relevance to cryptocurrencies. I've done it all. I've kind of just found a way to look at something differently. Okay, and one of those ways are actually looking at the charts itself, the technical analysis, and I'm going to go and share a little bit about that with you guys. But as I start and share my screen with you, maybe in the chat function, if you received some value today with regards to what Garth has shared, just put value in the chat function. It's always nice to see that we are serving everyone in this community and everyone is learning something and upskilling their knowledge. So, it's always nice to just see people putting in there, am I receiving value? Yes or no? So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with everyone so we can go right into understanding when we talk about charting and how we look at charts. There are multiple different things we look at. But the first thing that I want to go and share with everyone here is when we do technical analysis, and not everyone needs to do this, it's just to understand when you look at a chart, what does it actually mean? So let's start at the right at the basics. And where you're going to go and start off is you can go into a platform called tradingview.com. And tradingview.com gives you the ability to view certain markets and certain cryptocurrencies on a chart view. Now, what do we go and do? How do we actually set up these charts? Very, very simple. When you look at my screen at the moment, this is a particular chart that's drawn up here. It's Cardano, just for reference. It is not applicable to our specific training. It's done for viewability when it comes to looking at charts. Now, if you understand the charts and things like that, the first thing you're going to see on my chart is a lot of red and green lines going up and down. Now, what are they and what do they represent? So that's really important to understand, because we will refer to them as price candles. So each candle really represents a time period for each candle. How do we see that, and how do we know which time frame to apply to the applicable chart? Now, that's individually a choice you got to go and make. What is nice is when you go to the top here, you can go and select various types of time frames to each chart. You can go into 1 hour, 4 hour, 12 hours, 1 day, 1 week. What we like to do is, and the reason we like to use the 1 day chart is really just as simple as the time period on a 1 day gives us a longevity on the view of that particular cryptocurrency. So we want to know what cryptocurrencies are going to do in the long term. We're not too worried about short term. We aren't going to go and do any trading and things like that. We want to go and hold cryptocurrencies and understand what the future predicament potentially could be. Now, if I've gone and set it on a 1 day chart, you will then understand that each of these price candles really represents the movement in price for that particular 24 hours. So it just means that each candle represents price movement per day. Now, that's the first thing to understand. The second thing we like to go and do is we like to go and add indicators also to this chart so that we can understand where there are resistance and also where there is support within that chart. How do we do that? So the first thing you're going to go do, you click on indicators on the top. Once you go into indicators, you can go into the first one, which is called a multiple moving averages. Once you go and add that indicator to your chart, you will then just click on it. You will see it will appear like this on your chart. So again, just understand how we set this up. It's really, really simple. Once you see the lines on your screen, you literally just double click on those lines. Now we need to understand, firstly, what are we going to go and implement and why do we actually implement it? So the first thing we're going to go and implement is I want everyone then to go and change it to a 20, a 50, and a 200 day moving average. And you can go and color code them. These are just my colors. I love to use the yellow, white, and red. It's just something I've been using for the last 7 years and it's stuck with me. So just understand, once you've done that, now we can go and look a little bit further on understanding the market. So this is why we implement these moving averages. So the first thing we're going to go and do is look at where the price candles versus the moving averages are sitting in relation to each other. So when we look at this particular chart, you can see that the price candles are running below that yellow line, the 20-day moving average. Why do we want to go and look at that? Because we want to understand what's the sentiment in the market. So when these price candles run below the yellow line, it means that the market is bearish. Now, the word bearish really just means that there's a downtrend in price action. Okay, so when these price candles actually go and flip above the yellow line, that means that the sentiment in the market has changed. That action or season has changed. Okay, it may sometimes be short-lived. It may also be sometimes a long period. Now, when it flips from a bearish movement into a bullish movement into an uptrend, we can then see that the candles are really running above that. So when they are above that, we then also create that 20-day moving average. That yellow line becomes support. And you can actually see it here. It bounces off of that, it runs away, it bounces off of that, runs away. then you can see over there on my screen, here we failed to hold support, and the sentiment in the market then changed into bearish, hence the reason we are running below that line. And now that line becomes resistance. Okay, so now you can see it goes all the way up, touches the line again, then goes away, then touches the line again. And yeah, you can see in the last 2-3 days, we then didn't manage to flip that resistance into support, hence the reason we see a retracement in price. Now, what we also go and do is, with regards to all these lines, and let me just go a little bit left to my screen, is when you actually see that the candles trail above the line, we also have what we call a cross. And when the two lines cross each other, the yellow and the white, that's another confirmation that the sentiment is true in the market and that there is a little bit of upward movement coming to play. Now, those are basically what we look at. And then what we also go and do with regards to indicators is when you actually go into your indicator section, here's another one you can go and apply, and it's called the stochastic RSI. When you go and click on that, it will go and implement this bottom little section here. You will see that this is actually displaying. And the reason for that is also, let me just go, and so you guys can maybe take a screenshot or understand exactly what I've spoken about. Just understand that the stochastic RSI really just represents whether there are buyers or sellers in the market, whether a coin is overbought or oversold. Okay, so simplistically, I like to just call it buyers and sellers because that makes more sense to everyone. So how do we determine how the market actually works? So yeah, you can see right at the bottom there, if it comes from the bottom towards the upside, that means that the potential in the market is that there are a lot more buyers coming in the market, coming to buy up that particular cryptocurrency. Hence the reason we can see a movement of price upwards. Again, when we see it come from the top downwards, then we also see a price action going downwards, and that's called a retracement in a bearish market. So again, that's just nice to understand that you can follow the market and see, okay, yes, we hit the top there. Is that a potential sellout that I want to go and sell my cryptocurrencies, take profits there? And then again, we also know it's going to go back to the downside, and then we can go and follow and wait for a nice move towards the upside, which in this particular case looks like it could be in the next 2 to 3 days. And you could potentially go and rebuy back into the market and then wait for the next upwards movement. Now, understanding all of that about charting, that is really, really the basics. We do have a lot more when it comes to that. We do include patterns and Elliott waves and things like that, but you guys don't have to understand all of that. The most important thing to understand is where is the price candle sitting? Is it sitting below the line or above the line? And that will give you the best indication of whether a market is bullish or bearish. Now, for me, I'm just going to go into a couple of things. The first one I want to go and share with everyone here is understanding the total cryptocurrency market that sits on Binance. And I did go and do this a couple of months ago already that I've been training this. Just understand when you look at a chart, and I'm zooming out here, we can see we had a beautiful run towards the top. Then we kind of created this bullish movement for bearish movement for the last year. Okay, that sits all the way from November last year. It's gone and created a descending channel, and we're still sitting within that channel, and we're at a pivotal point now where we could potentially break out of that channel or then have a retracement to remain inside that channel. And that's what we want to go and determine with regards to actually putting in these patterns, is to see what are the market sentiments doing and what is the potential growth in that coin. So when we go and actually zoom in a little bit, we can see these are the sidewalls of this descending channel. Okay, so as you can see here, typically it always goes to the top, then to the bottom, then we hit the top again. Now, one or two things are going to happen. We're either going to go and break out here, or we can potentially remain inside this channel. So let me go and zoom in a little bit more for you guys. So yeah, you can see we're at a pivotal point there. It did look like a couple of days ago we are going to go and break out of that channel, but look at that resistance on that 50 MA. There you can see we didn't go and break beyond the 50 moving average and then our next level of resistance would have been on the 200. We failed to break that. So again, that resistance just pushed it down. We did not hold support on the 20. We broke the support on the 20, meaning that we had a downwards movement, and that side wall of that channel, that trend line over there, remains true. Now, we also have on my screen, we do have this white line in here, and a lot of people are going, okay, well, what's the white line for? So let me just go and show you guys. So if I go all the way back to where we actually had the lunar crisis, and that lunar crisis created a low. So we look at that low saying, okay, that particular low gives us a support line with regards to the markets. So now when we go and zoom in a little bit, understanding that that is a support line, we can see a lot of support on here. There you can see bounced off there, came down, bounced off there again. Then we held that 200 MA support, now didn't go and hold support. We managed to fail that. And now all the way down again to that support level. Okay, so yes, the beautiful thing is we can potentially see a nice bounce off of that and potentially go and break that sidewall of that channel. That would give us a bullish movement and then potentially a mini bull run that will come with cryptocurrencies. So that's where we're sitting at the moment. It's really, really a pivotal point when it comes to cryptocurrencies. Let's just have a look at Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin doing? Again, let me just zoom out a little bit. We are sitting in this descending channel, and you can see how far Bitcoin is still away from that channel wall on the top there. So everything is moving quite nicely. It's gone and created a falling wedge within this channel, which is quite nice. Breakout over there, then a retracement, finding support on that, where now we have accumulation. So accumulation is called sideways movement. So with sideways movement, we then have some of these levels that we go and analyze. And you can see again, here's the white line that comes all the way from that previous low over there. So again, Bitcoin fell under that line. Now I try to go and break through, because now that's not support anymore. That line becomes resistance. And you can see that that resistance is true at the moment. Hence, we see a retracement in value. What we want to go and see now is that potentially we have a return and an upwards movement. We want to go and break that white line over there. If we break that white line, then we will most likely go to the top of that channel, which will be absolutely phenomenal for us, ending the year off strong. And then we will have a good bull season next year. And typically a bearish season like this does last 365 days. And like I showed you guys now, we are sitting at about 400 days within this downward trend. So the timing of the new bull cycle is imminent, and we can really potentially see some nice growth in cryptocurrencies in the next year. So let's just look at Ethereum. Ethereum, we can also see again, we're at that pivotal point here where we want to go and see, we want to break that sidewall of that descending channel. We did see that there was movement on it, and hence the reason it was rejected, and a downwards movement. And now you can see that the stochastic RSI is also almost at the bottom, so we can potentially have a flip towards the upside. And then we want to go and break that sidewall. Once we break that sidewall, then we can see huge movement going to the top in the early of January. So that's really, really exciting to go and watch the markets like that. And then the last one is Binance Coin. So when we look at BNB, we can see BNB is actually a front runner in the market at the moment. So if I zoom out a little bit, this is that descending channel, the crypto market, Bitcoin and Ethereum still sitting in. Look at what BNB has gone and done. They've already gone and broken out of that channel. Okay. Beautiful breakout. Always have a retracement on a breakout. Okay. So a bounce off of that. This is now accumulation, sideways movement, and then boom, big spike to the top. And then again, I've gone and put in the pink line there, which is a trend line, just to give us an idea. So the trend line works. If it doesn't go and break above that, it means that we are in a retracement. As you can see at the moment, we did think that it might break out over there, but again, look how true that resistance line is over there. Move towards the downside. You can see the stochastic is really, really low at the moment, and it is starting to turn towards the upside. So that's a really potentially a good place to go and stock up. Again, what I will do, in my opinion, I will only go and buy more BNB once it breaks this pink line. So as we break beyond that, that would be a good entry, in my opinion. And then the market potentially could go up for us, creating this new bull run in the early new year. So that was my little section on the charting. What I want to go and understand and explain to people is that cost average purchasing is also really, really important, in the sense that we always need to understand, yes, looking at technical analysis, understanding charts. Okay, one fundamental thing that you need to do is you need to take emotion out of cryptocurrencies. So when you cost average purchase, it doesn't matter what the charts are doing. It doesn't matter what the cryptocurrencies are doing. You're in for the long haul. You want to go and put liquidity into a growing asset class where you can go and put some leverage in there and hold it for the next 3, 4, 5 years before you actually realize some of those profits. Now, to give you guys a nice overview of how that actually works and why we talk about cost average purchasing, is this is a wonderful site. Okay, you guys can go and take it down. The link will be shared with you guys as well. But it's dollar cost average BTC, so DCABTC.com. And you guys can go and play around with this. And let's just go and analyze this in a little bit in a high level overview. So if, let's say, for instance, you guys had the ability to spend $50 per month on Bitcoin, what will it mean for you over time? And this is based on historical data. We cannot go and guarantee what the future does. But I want to get everyone to understand the sentiments of the market. And if you look at this chart, yeah, you can see, you know, there are highs and there are lows, and there are highs and there are lows. That's how the market just goes and grows and retraces and grows and retraces. But overall, it always goes upwards. Now, if we had to go and put in $50 into that, we did it on a monthly basis, and let's just say we did it for the last 3 years. What would that typically look like? So you can see here, all these little dots that's on the screen. That means that's every time you purchase that $50 in Bitcoin. So yes, you purchase it when the price was high. It comes down, you keep purchasing, you purchase when it's low. Again, you purchase as the price climbs. So what is the input and what is the potential at 3 years of purchasing? So when we look at that, it says, yeah, you have now gone and spent $50 of buying Bitcoin every month for the last 3 years. Now it will have an input. You've placed $1,800 into Bitcoin, but it has turned into $3,931 currently. So that means that you had a potential growth of 118% over the last 3 years. Now, again, if you want to go and play around with this, you can change it to $100 if that's what you can do. And let's say, for instance, you had done that for the last 7 years. What would that look like in existence? So as you can see on this chart, a lot of sideways movement, a big peak in 2017, December, then a lot of sideways movement, massive, massive growth in the last 2 years. So what has that done for us? It just means that $100 over 7 years monthly was an input of $8,400, but your value today would have been $151,000. That's 1,700% growth. You know, over 7 years, I don't think there's anything out there that can produce potentials like this. And I think this is really understanding the markets and why cost average purchasing is really so important. So I hope that was helpful. I'm going to hand you guys back to Janine, and then we may going to have a short break soon. Back to you, Janine.
Fabulous, fabulous. Thank you so much, Eugene. That's a lot of information, I understand, but a really, really clear where you can go to get information. So Garth introduced you to cryptocurrencies, explained what they are. Eugene has shown you the different markets, the size of the markets, and then at the same time, because the biggest question is, do I buy now? When do I buy? When do I sell? And there is no exact science to that. But if you're equipping yourself with the knowledge to make those decisions, it is going to be so much easier. So as Eugene said, we're going to be heading into a body break now. We suggest you go and get some fresh air, grab yourself something to drink. The technical difficulty of the next session goes up just a notch, but stay with us. We're here to guide you and support you. And don't go away. Don't forget that $500 giveaway at the end of the course later on today. Because many of us are based here in South Africa, we may just have one or two little glitches regarding our power supply, but don't worry, we have backup. We will get to you as soon as we can. Thank you very much. See you after the break. Well, welcome back. And paper ready. I know there's probably a lot going through your mind right now, but that's fantastic. We're really enjoying having us on this call today. One of the privileges I get is to do business with what starts off as strangers who then become partners, who then actually become friends. And I have that privilege today to introduce you to one of my really close friends, the other half of the power couple known as Eugene and Michelle Bluchnotes. And I'm going to introduce you now. What is actually the history of blockchain? Where did it all start? Because lots of words get thrown out there like metaverse, NFT, gaming, etc., that are all new terms of vocabulary for us. And it's good to understand where did it all start and where are we heading to. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce you to our next meta wealth coach and presenter, Michelle Bluchnote, who is a strategic investor in business, property, and cryptocurrencies. She's a very successful business owner in her own right and has her own accounting practice. She, like many of us, is obsessed with travel. She's a mom of two, and Michelle believes that it takes small hinges to swing big doors. So handing over to you, my friend Michelle, thank you so much for your time today, yourself and Eugene sharing. These are real servant leaders in our community, and we really look forward to what you have to share regarding the history of the blockchain. Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you so much, Janine, for that lovely introduction. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our Saturday morning's training. We're so privileged to have you on the call with us, opening yourself to a learning opportunity and hopping on a journey with us to grow in this wonderful, wonderful space. So it's a privilege for me to get to share some information with you. I'd like to ask you, hold my hand while I'm sharing, hop on. Feel safe. As Janine has mentioned, you will get the recording, and don't get too overwhelmed if you're feeling, ooh, ouch. Just take a deep breath and follow us and trust us and grow with us. So I'm going to be sharing my screen with you quickly. I'd also like to ask you to give yourself a pat on the back for being on this call on a Saturday morning and embracing the opportunity in front of you. So just briefly, the previous section, can we all agree, was not very complex, not complicated at all, and we'd voted as a technical difficulty of 4. The next section we're moving into is going a tad higher. We're stepping it up a notch. We're moving into a technical difficulty of 8. Again, don't feel overwhelmed. We're here to assist and support you. You are part of a community and you are not by yourself. So, before I move into the history of blockchain, in the chat box, pop a couple of words in. What are new words you learned in the first section? In the first section, what is new? You learned of central exchanges and decentral exchanges and stochastic RSIs, big foreign words. Let's see. Acknowledge the new words you've learned, the new strategies you've learned, because that means you're learning, which is exciting. So while you're chatting in the chat box, I'm going to share with you the brief history of blockchain. It did not miraculously just appear yesterday. It's been here for a while. And some of us might not have been paying attention when it first appeared all that time ago. About 13 years ago, Bitcoin appeared. And when Bitcoin appeared, it was proof of work mining. It was IT guys and gamers with computers at home. They were mining cryptocurrencies. They might have set up some warehouses. They really got involved in high-tech stuff before many of us were any the wiser as to what is actually going on in the crypto and tech space. We then moved into altcoins with proof of works mining, homes and warehouses, and peer-to-peer exchanges. So when altcoins arrived, we moved into Ethereum and Monero, Expanse, with gaming computers. And in that period, one gentleman purchased 2 large pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoins. So for those of you that know the current Bitcoin price, can you imagine spending 10,000 Bitcoins on 2 large pizzas? But that was before many of us were none the wiser. When they moved into peer-to-peer exchanges, it would be a community of people that get together. I introduce a friend of mine to the call it a group, and that friend has got fiat currency, call it rands from South Africa, and is wanting some cryptocurrency, and they go to a mutual agreement of exchanging. I'll transfer so many rands into your bank account, you give me X amounts of cryptocurrency, which obviously leads to some forms of complications, because sadly, not everybody in the world is true and honest and ready to do business in a fair space, which left us to move into ICOs and central exchanges. So what is an ICO? An ICO is simply an initial coin offering. So companies would come to the platform looking for investments into their business. They'd offer you their coin price at a reduced value. You'd purchase those coins at a reduced value and wait for the project to succeed and the coin price to come up and to earn some income from that. In their central exchange space, that would give you platforms like some of you that are already part of central exchanges. Please will you put in the chat box what central exchanges were you using or are you using at the moment? So in South Africa, we use platforms like Luno, Altcoin Trader, Nexo, which you're going to be learning a bit more about. There's a whole lot of central exchanges right around the world. And all it is you register a profile, you send your fiat currency to that central exchange. They're holding a certain amount of cryptocurrency on their platform, and you get to purchase cryptocurrency from them with your fiat currencies. So safe space for you to get hold of cryptocurrencies. Then we also have traders who might be holding a volume of cryptocurrency. You transfer your fiat currency to them and they reward you with a certain amount of cryptocurrency. But in this space, those years ago, traders, traditional traders, started hopping onto the crypto space and seeing high rewards because growth in cryptocurrencies literally happen overnight. And they would leverage trading within the crypto space using their skills they obtained in the traditional system of stocks and shares and capitalizing in the crypto trading space. We then moved into proof of stake blockchains and smart contracts, where smart contracts would take care of the agreements. I would say, I'm wanting X amount, you give me that amount. And smart contracts take place in the background without humans needing to be involved to make sure it happens. When we move then from smart contracts into assisted trading, that gives us a space where we get to copy traders, where we have industry regulators that control things, that put you in a safe space. So we've evolved drastically in the crypto space. We also moved into a space called airdrops, where companies would reward you. You'd, for example, promote their company on Twitter or on Facebook or Instagram, and you'd be rewarded with airdrops of free tokens for promoting and sharing their business. Similar to going to a sports event and being sponsored a cold drink or an energy drink or something to that effect. So that's how airdrops worked. We then moved into DEX launches and DeFi smart contracts. And it's all could be sounding like a whole lot of foreign lingo if you're brand new to the crypto space. I'd like to ask you to take a deep breath. I'm going to explain. It's pretty basic if you bring it back to our traditional system. So what DeFi smart contracts are, is it's very similar to a money market account in your traditional banking system. You'd leave a certain portion of funds into a money market account for a certain period. It may be 30 days, it may be 6 months, it may be 5 years. And the bank agrees if you leave your funds in their system, they will reward you with a certain annual percentage per year. That annual percentage will be paid out to you in the form of interest And once your period is up, you will have access to those funds again with the interest you've earned. So what a DeFi smart contract is you'd lock a certain number of coins in a platform, and you'd be rewarded a percentage of coins per week, per month, per year, depending upon the agreements in place. And when you get paid out those coins, it's great because you're growing your coin capacity, so you're growing your assets. But remember, if it's a successful project, the project will be growing in value, which would mean you're double dipping. You'd be getting the growth in the coin quantity as well as the growth in the coin price, which is really, really important. So that would be a simple explanation for DeFi smart contracts. If you're understanding what I'm saying, please put DeFi in the chat box for me. That way I know that you're understanding how we're bringing old traditional system together with a new current system at play, which offers much higher rewards. You'll also be looking at central exchanges starting to offer collateralized loans. So central exchanges, meaning exchanges like, for example, Nexo, where Eugene will show you guys a little bit more. You literally, if you're giving them 1 Bitcoin on the platform, they would allow you to borrow another Bitcoin. So that's exactly, if you had to go to the bank and want to get a loan, the bank would look at what are your assets in the banking system? What are your holdings in the banking system? And according to that, they will judge what they're willing to borrow you. And that's in simple what a collateralized loan is. It's utilizing a new system similarly to a previous system, just called something a little bit different. We then move into what we call smart contracts and the NFT market launches. So I'm going to stop sharing quickly so I can look at you in the eye and just share with you what exactly is NFTs. So it's a big word. It stands for non-fungible token. So it is a mouthful, but realistically, it's not complicated. All it actually is years ago, wealthy business people would purchase paintings, for example, as an asset to hold an appreciating asset. Appreciating asset just means it grows in value. They'd purchase this painting. It would be stored in a warehouse for safekeeping. In that warehouse, it'll sit locked up. Nobody would see it. But your balance sheet, your asset holding will show the value of the asset you're holding. And every year it'll go up in value. NFTs have simply replaced a painting hanging in some warehouse. You could now hold various items in the form of an NFT. It could be a digital image. It could be a comic book. It could be a song. It could be the lyrics to a song. It could be a photograph. And you could digitally hold it and it'll grow in value. And the day you want to sell it, you could exchange it to a willing buyer. You're a willing seller. A willing buyer would offer you a certain price and you exchange it, and digitally, they then are the new holders of that token. There's a history of where that token has moved to, that NFT has moved to. There's a history of how the price has grown. And it's opened up a whole new world to people holding assets. And there's so much more to it. I'm going to share a little bit more as I carry on with my presentation, because when you look at the NFT space and you bring gaming to it. So for example, I'm not a gamer. My kids are gamers. I have no cooking clue. I don't know my left thumb from the right thumb when I'm holding any of those remotes. Mario Brothers was a challenge to me when I was much younger. But this allows me to have my son build a car in the gaming space, put on its zooshed up wheels and zooshed up exhausts and all sorts of things, it allows me to purchase that NFT, that car in the form of an NFT from him, and hold it and resell it to some other gamer who sees the need for that car. So it literally brings the world together of gamers and non-gamers and people just wanting to make money in the gaming space and leverage off that space. So NFTs give me the ability to participate in a market that I know nothing about, but I get to leverage off it. So that's just pretty simple what NFT and gaming is and how it comes together, which then brings us to multifunctional platforms, which is the metaverse space. Now, the metaverse space is what I'm most excited about, because what does the metaverse space do? And again, I'm going to stop sharing to take a look at you. The metaverse space opens up a world of evolution, where within one metaverse, you can access multiple things. In the metaverse space, this will allow you to access, you no longer need to go to various platforms to access what you're looking for. You could go into the metaverse and access books, access music, access cryptocurrencies, access centralized loans, access a DeFi space where you get to grow your assets and leverage of the gaming institution. In the metaverse space, we're allowing different companies to plug into the metaverse for multiple people to get access to different requirements. It is a fast-moving space. It is a space you're wanting to hold onto with both your hands and leverage from without needing to have all the knowledge. None of us need to know how to design a metaverse. None of us need to know how to put all the APIs together. We just need to know how to log in and how to leverage and how to move within it. Because when we're strategically moving with evolution, we are growing and we are benefiting, should we wish to, without having to be the designers or the creators or the masterminds behind it. And that's what I love about it. That's what makes the metaverse so powerful. And we're going to be showing you a whole lot more with regards to this, because as we move into our next section, Eugene is going to show you how you set up your principal account, how you set up your performance account, how you access a potential account, and how to leverage off your pay card account. Because when you're doing that, you're evolutionizing yourself in this growing industry, and you're empowering yourself one step at a time. So it gives me great pleasure to hand over to Eugene, who is going to show you a bit more of the technical aspects of the business. And again, I'm going to encourage you, don't get too lost in the technicality. Watch and learn and follow step by step as you grow and move in this space. So it gives me pleasure to hand over to Eugene. Eugene will be taking you guys through the next set of slides.
Awesome. Thanks, Michelle. That's a really great way of showing the history of blockchain and understanding blockchain. It's really important to understand how to move inside that blockchain. So I'm going to go and share my screen and give you guys a lot more value when it actually comes to moving from a principal account into a performance account. So the first thing we want to go and understand is, yes, we need a principal account. So that is our main holding account. And how do we leverage our main holdings, that liquidity, into performance accounts, into potential accounts, so that we can go and compound some of those rewards. The most important thing to understand again about the principal account is are you understanding what central exchange you want to go and create as the principal account? Do they have collateralized loan abilities? Do they actually give you interest on that holding cryptocurrency sitting in there? We do prefer Nexo, okay? So you don't have to be obligated to use Nexo. It is just one of our training materials that we do prefer using, but understand that you also have to go and then go and get a balanced portfolio in crypto holdings. Again, you got Bitcoin, BNB, Ethereum, and US dollar Tether. So once you understand that, then you can go and take some of that value that sits within your principal account, whether you want to go and borrow against your collateral, or whether you actually want to use some of that collateral into a performance account. Now, we do recommend between 10 to 20% only. Do not go and over collateralize yourself, because then it becomes risky. You want to remain in a low risk environment where you can go into a performance account and then also go and create compounded profits and rewards. Now, what is a performance account? A performance account really is like a decentralized exchange like PancakeSwap. And I'm going to go and show you guys exactly how to actually do that, how to set up that decentralized exchange where you can go and create some of those profits in the near future. Now, the first thing to understand is we're going to go from Nexo, and we are going to go into a wallet where we can go and create a smart contract, because a decentralized exchange cannot operate directly. You need to have a smart contract in place so that you can actually go and generate some of those compounded rewards. Now, in order to do that, you can go and get the Binance wallet extension, or what we prefer, the MetaMask extension, and we can go and do that. So I'm going to go and show you guys the technical steps on how to actually go from Nexo into MetaMask and then into PancakeSwap, and how to actually implement all of that. So I'm going to go and just stop share. So I want to do this live with everyone. So let me go into this screen over here. So let's just go and have a look at Pancake. So there's a couple of things you need to always understand about a decentralized exchange. Number one, you need to understand what is the network that they work on. What is the end goal of what you need to do? So the first thing you need to understand, if you go to pancakeswap.finance, you'll go and find this page, and you can go and see that the network that is selected on here is the Binance Smart Chain. Yes, you can use Ethereum as well, but Ethereum is quite expensive in fees and transactions. So Binance Smart Chain is really a lot cheaper than all the other networks, hence the reason we're going to stick to the Binance Smart Chain. So that's the first thing to understand. The second thing to understand is where do we actually go and realize those potential rewards? So if you go on to the top here, you see it says earn. You want to go to the pool section. So when you click on pools, it will give you all the various syrup pools that are available. Okay, now this is just the terminology we use. These are syrup pools. It's almost like a call account, if you want to call it that, where you can leverage liquidity in order to have a return. So when we provide liquidity to decentralized exchanges, we then get rewarded with rewards over time, and they all vary in different percentages. So you can see here there are multiples of, and the reason we want to go and look at these is understanding, number one, also, what are you wanting to realize? It's really important, because some of these, you can see they earn MGP. Now, I've got no idea what MGP is and what project it is, because I haven't gone and done that due diligence on that company. So I'm not going to go and participate into that. What I want to go and show you is we understand PancakeSwap is most probably the largest decentralized exchange out there. And also, I want to go and earn their native token, because I know that they are solid. So if you look at that first one, it says stake Cakeys PancakeSwap's native token. And how do we go and look at this? So you can see a flexi APY is 2.7% per year. If I do a locked up, a period account, I can get up to 57% yield per year. Now, in the comment section, maybe in the chat, just say if 58% a year is a good method for you to go and create more and more assets. You know, if 57% is low, then we really need to look at something different. But in my opinion, I do think that 58% is magical when it comes to a return per annum. You know, I've looked at the old financial ways of doing things, and nowhere I can find growth like this other than in the cryptocurrency space. So that's the first couple of things we need to look at. But now we need to go in and set up, how do we actually go from Nexo, our central exchange, and get to a decentralized exchange? How do we do that? The first thing we're going to go and do is we need to go onto your Chrome Explorer. You want to go and search for download MetaMask extension. So when you go and put in download MetaMask extension, you are going to look for the one that says chrome.google, because you want to link it to your Chrome account. So all you're going to go and do is you click on that, and it will open up a screen that gives you the ability to add that extension to your Chrome profile. So all we're going to go and do is we're going to click on add to Chrome, and we're going to say yes, add the extension, and we are going to go and wait for that to download. Once it's downloaded, you will see it will give you a pop-up on the screen saying that it is downloaded now. So we're just going to wait for that as it adds it to our Google profile. So again, almost there. It's going to come through any second now. There we go. So there's the pop-up. It says now it's been added to my Chrome. And then sometimes what happens is it disappears from your screen. So even if I just close that little screen there, now you go, oh, where's it gone? Really, really nice little feature on the top of Chrome. It looks like a little puzzle piece, and that says extensions. So when you click on that, you will go and find your MetaMask extension over there. You will find that there's a little pin. So if you click that pin, it will actually pin the little fox to the top. Now you don't need to go and look for, where do I actually find this pin? Now what we're going to go and do is, if you click on the MetaMask little fox, it will then give you the ability to actually create a wallet in your name and stuff. So we can go and say, yes, you can play around with this little fox that's looking at where I'm going. So you click get started. A lot of information in here where it will give you never do this, always do this. So you can read through that, make sure you understand that. Once you've done that, click I agree. Then it will give you the option. Do you have an existing MetaMask account, or do you want to set up a new wallet? We want to go and set up a new wallet because we don't have an existing one. You click on create a wallet. Now it will give you the option to say, okay, we need a password relevant to that particular wallet. Always go and put in a minimum of 8 characters. I like to use uppercase, lowercase. I like to use symbols and also numbers, etc. So for this purposes, we are going to go and just put in the test at, let's call it 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to confirm that test at 1, 2, 3, 4. And once you put in those the password, yes, I have read and agreed the terms of use, I can go and click create. Once it goes and creates now my portfolio, we then get into a section where you need to make sure that your wallet always remains secure. And because we run in the decentralized space, remember the difference between a central exchange and a decentral. A central exchange will ask for an email and password, where a decentralized exchange doesn't work with emails because it's not humanly driven. Okay, it all sits on the blockchain, so that you want to go and create with a passphrase and password. So you can go and watch this little video. It's a nice explanatory video on your secret recovery phase. You do click next. Yeah, you will have the option to actually receive your secret recovery phrase. When you go and click reveal the words, what happens now is these are the words that is your main access to that wallet. I will recommend, do not take a screenshot of this. Do not go and save this on your computer. The best way to keep your secret recovery phrase safe is actually write them down in that specific order that you see on the screen here now. So once you've gone and written it down, then only go and click next. Okay, super, super important. because if someone does get access to your computer and they find this, they can get access to your wallet. And if they get access to your MetaMask wallet, all your funds are gone. And it's one thing I always teach my people is saying, guys, remember, always treat $1 as $1 million. Okay, this is cryptocurrencies. Always treat $1 as $1 million. Remain safe in the space. You need to take and become an adult in the cryptocurrency space. There's no undo button in cryptocurrencies. So once you've gone and written that down, then you can hit the next, and then you have to go and put it in the same order that it was written down previously. Once you've done that, then you can confirm, and it will then give you access to your MetaMask wallet. Now, the next step that we're going to go and do, and I'm just going to stop share and just reshare a different screen with you all. Go in there. So what we want to go and do now is we want to go from my Nexo account all the way to Pancake via our MetaMask. So I'm just going to go and log into MetaMask here quickly. Let's just do that. Okay, so once you got access to your MetaMask wallet, then you will see it only works with the Ethereum mainnet. Now going, oh, what do I do now? Because I've only got the Ethereum network, but we know that Pancake works on the Binance Smart Chain. Okay, so really easy step. What you're gonna go and do is go back to Google and then just type in the search function, how to add the Binance Smart Chain to MetaMask. And you will go and find there's a nice article here from Academy Binance. You can go and click on that, and it will give you all the steps that you require to actually add the Binance Smart Chain network to your MetaMask wallet. Now, when you go and scroll down, it will actually give you picture formats on where to click. I will show you guys exactly how to do that. But what I want to show you guys is this is the most important information that you are going to need when doing that. So now you've got this information, you can go back into your MetaMask. When you go and click on the top there, you can go add network. So when you, let's just see, yeah. Add network manually. Okay, so now we're in this section here. Now we know, okay, a network name. Again, when you go back here, you can see it says Smart Chain. I like to go and just change it to Binance Smart Chain, okay, so that I am specific with the names. Now it says you need a URL. Okay, there we go, new URL. I can go and highlight and copy that. I can go and paste it in there. And then I can go back there. I need an ID, that's 56. I put it in there, 56. Symbol, BNB, okay, so that's what BNB is, Binance Coin, BNB. And then you have the optional URL for the Explorer. I do prefer putting those in. So I copy that, I put it in there. And then once I've done all of that, you will see mine just says I already have it. So once you put it in there, you click save. And then what it will do, it will actually go and put it in there so that when you click on that, it will then go and open up. So let me just get out of here. It will then go and open up your Binance Smart Chain account where you can then go and find BNB there. And then you are now set to do the physical movement of value. So what we're going to go and do now is we're going to go just into my Nexo account. So there we can see I've got some BNB in there. You go and click on transfer. Once you hit the transfer, you can click the withdraw button. And there you can see, okay, yes, I want to send BNB. Where's the destination going? Okay. So we want to go and say, I want to send it to an external wallet. So when I go and click that, then it says to me, okay, what network would you want to send this on? So let's just go one step back. What did we just go and create? What network did we put in there? Binance Smart Chain. So again, we're going to go back in here and then we're going to say, there's the Binance Smart Chain, BEP20. And you also have the Binance chain, which is the old blockchain. Now we know that we've put the new blockchain, the smart chain, into MetaMask. So I'm going to go and select the smart chain. And once I've done that, it will then give me the ability to actually add an address where to send this to. It's very similar like sending an email. Okay, so if I want to go and send information from me to John, I need John's email address in order to send that information. This is very, very similar. So in order for me to send value from Nexo to MetaMask, I need an address to send it to. So where do I find that? Again, on MetaMask, just make sure that you are on the Binance Smart Chain. You will go and find, it says account 1 with an address there. You click on that, it will go and copy that address. Then you go back into Nexo, you paste it in there. Now, please, I ask everyone, be an adult about cryptocurrencies. Always go and check the address. Again, even though you've copied it immediately, it's just if you send it to the wrong address, your funds and value will be lost. Okay, there is no undo button in cryptocurrencies. There's nothing to be afraid of. It's just double checking what you do. So yeah, we can see my first 3 is OXE and my last is 97AE. So I can go back in there and say OXE 97AE. That is correct. So I can then actually go forward with putting some value in there. And we're going to say how many BNBs I'm going to send. Let's say we send 0.4 BNB to MetaMask. Now you will see, because it's the smart chain, the network is free. I'm not paying any fees to go and send that. I can click on withdraw. Now I've got on a central exchange, we do have security measures in place, which is referred to as two-factor authentication. I've set that up and I'm going to go just to my phone and I'm going to enter my secret number over here. That does change every 30 seconds. So it just keeps me safe. And there you can say, now I need to confirm via an email that it's me that's sending that cryptocurrency. So I'm going to just go into my emails over here and then there we go. And then I just need to click on confirm withdrawal so that the withdrawal can actually happen. So as we wait for that to just confirm, I can go and close this little one here. There we go. So that has been confirmed. Now, if I go to transactions, you will see under transactions, there it says it's busy processing at the moment. You can see there's a value of about $94 that I've just sent to MetaMask. Now, all we're going to go and do is we basically go to MetaMask. There we go. It's already in my MetaMask account. Stuff happens a lot faster in the decentralized space opposed to centralized spaces. So just understand how cool that is. Now we've got value in here. Now I can actually go and create a smart contract with Pancake. So because my MetaMask is open, I can go into Pancake. Again, like we said, we go to the earn section, the pool section. Once we've gone in there, I can then go and connect my MetaMask wallet to start speaking to this particular platform. So when I click on connect wallet, it will ask me which wallet do I want to go and connect. I'm going to say, yes, I want to go and connect to my MetaMask. Now it will connect. So typically when you do this for the first time, it will ask permission and you need to confirm that permission to that platform. Mine is already connected. All it will do is MetaMask will pop up with, please confirm that you want to connect to this site. You click confirm and it will connect. Now, the second step that you want to go and do is you want to go into the stake cake pool and you want to open up the one that says details. You will see mine has already got value in. Yours will then give you the option to do a flexi account or a locked account. Okay, what is the difference? A flexi account will only give you around about maximum 3% per year. Why is the flexi so much lower than the lock? Because they don't know at what point of time you're going to remove that funds. So flexi means you can remove it at any given time. Lock period means they know that for the next 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 10 weeks, 52 weeks, depending on what period you choose, they know how long that liquidity is going to sit there. And based on that lock period, they'll give you a higher percentage. Now, you will see on mine, it does say my percentage currently at 44%. Why is that also lower than the 58% I spoke about? Because mine's already been locked in for a couple of days. Out of the 365, I'm almost halfway on my locked in period. So as I lock in more and more coins over that same period, it just means that my APR reduces. It still actually gives me the same percentage over 12 months. It's just because my period is shorter. Okay, so all we want to do now is we need to exchange that BNB for the local coin. Where do we do that? You're going to click on trade and then click on swap, because now we need to swap that BNB for the local token. And here you can see I've got 0.4. So I'm going to go in at 75%. So let's just go in 0.3. So we're going to exchange $70 out of that $94. And the reason we don't want to go and do 100% of what I sent there is because on MetaMask, you always need a little bit of BNB as gas fees in order to enable all the contracts. So always just choose the 75%. Then it tells me I will go and receive 21.4 cake tokens. I can then click on the swap button. They will then go and say that I can confirm the swap. Now we just wait for that. Again, MetaMask will open up saying, are you then doing this whole swap? And you just need to confirm that you are actually swapping tokens from your MetaMask with this decentralized exchange. I hit the confirm button. And there we go, transaction has been submitted. I can then close that. Then I can go back into my pool section, okay? Once that is done, I open up my details and I can now go and add additional cake to it. So I click on add and I can say, I want the maximum that I've just gone and swapped. For that, I can go and put that in there. I go right down to the bottom. I confirm that I want to go and add. Again, MetaMask will open up and ask you, are you sure that you are wanting to add to this contract? Because remember, when you're adding additional tokens to it, you're changing the parameters of the smart contract. Again, it's like redoing a contract. Now you need to re-sign the contract for that change that you just made. So now I go to MetaMask, I confirm the change of the contract. Once I've done that, it will then confirm my new contract. And here you will see, again, my APR changes and also my quantum changes. And now it goes back to 0%, where it just means a new contract is now only applicable for 189 days, no longer 365. Okay. So once the 198 days are up, I can then go back and regenerate a new contract for a new period. So I hope that in itself was helpful and it just gives you guys a lot to think about. I'm going to just stop sharing there and then go back into the little bit of presentation that we have left here. So let me go to current slide. So that was the technical steps that we did for regards to actually moving from a central exchange into a decentralized exchange. Remember, we do have recordings available. You can pause and do this step slowly. I know it's very technical and you need to understand all of the stuff, but you can go and watch the recording again, even if you need to watch it 2-3 times before you understand. Make sure you understand this process from a central exchange into a wallet and then creating that smart contract with a decentralized exchange so that you can actually go and compound rewards. And remember, when you have those rewards generated, you can then re-engineer this whole step in order to get the value back into Nexa. So security protocols on these is really, really important. When you have central exchanges, like I showed you guys now, your Nexa will have a 2FA application available where you can go and download. I do recommend use Authy Authenticator, okay? It's really, really good, and you can go and create a profile on your phone where you also then have to, with the central exchange, have an email address. With crypto wallets, like Nexa also has the ability to actually implement a ledger, a hardware wallet, okay? So it's a cold wallet. You can also, and it is recommended whenever you have a MetaMask wallet, that you actually go into buying yourself a ledger. Now, what is a ledger? A ledger really is almost looks like a little bit of a hard drive stick, you know, a USB stick. What it does is it encrypts your transactional methods, so that when someone do get access to your MetaMask and they try and hack you, that they cannot go and move any value without receiving that decoding device hardware wallet, where you need then to actually go and approve that withdrawal from your ledger. So that's just to remain safe out there so that you guys don't lose any value. I think it's really, really important. So understand that in session 1, we did go and show you guys how to move from a local bank via a central exchange in order to generate and create that principal account. Go and set it up correctly so that you remain balanced. Section 2, we did go and show you guys how to actually move from a central exchange via a wallet to create a smart contract into a decentralized exchange so that you can go and create compound rewards. So I hope that was helpful. Just understand that we do have a lot of support channels in place. You can go to Telegram and go and link yourself to the cryptno.com channel. So that is an information channel. And we also have the cryptno.com chat channel where you can go and ask questions. So we are going to take a 5-minute break now before we head into section 3. You really want to stay tuned for section 3. If you think that decentralized exchanges were massive and those percentages are great, you don't want to miss the metaverse. So section 3 is all going to be centered around a metaverse and the ability to earn from that. So I'm going to stop just my screen over here and we're going to go into a 5-minute break. We will be back shortly with everyone here. So let me just go and share the right screen. There we go. Be back soon, guys.
Well, welcome back to the third and final session of our training this morning. You'll see I've had a change of scenery and a change of vibe. We are chasing signal due to the load shedding that's been taking place. So whilst I am being enabled to share my screen, I just want to recap quickly on what we've done up until now in the first two stages. The technical difficulty of this particular section is a technical difficulty 6. I'm sure you will agree, it's been great to be in the hands of the likes of Michelle and Eugene going through the technical difficulty 8. And as he said, you'll be able to go back to the recordings and go back and get the information that you really require. So what I'm going to be doing now, and Eugene alluded to it before he ended his section, and that was really about the metaverse. So hugely exciting space for us. And I get to go and share my screen with you all as soon as I can get it there. And we're going to head back into section number 3, which is really all about the metaverse and what it is that we have to look at there. So right, let's go from this point onwards. And everybody see my screen? Everybody good? That's fantastic. Section 3, technical difficulty 6. So when we talk about the blockchain, and Garth used the analogy of, have you ever been down to Salt Rock? Well, if you're international, you may not have been to Salt Rock before, but yes, one day it was just sugarcane, farmlands, and layer upon layer, business and properties were developed. And just like Michelle explained to you, if you have a look at the history of blockchain and where it really comes from, we started off with the mainnet blockchain, the foundation and the data layers was the original layer that was introduced. On top of that, we then saw the introduction of exchanges, wallets, and vaults, where transactions could start taking place. And then some very clever individuals realized that through innovation of mining, farming, and staking, liquidity and capital rewards were able to be shared and exchanged between individuals. Added to that, the gaming and NFT marketplace was launched, where communication can take place. As Michelle said, she doesn't understand gaming. Personally, I don't either, but there are people that do and that have a lot of fun in that space. But what I can certainly do is buy and sell within that space through NFTs, through trading, through gaming, and be able to build and grow assets. And that essentially is the Web 3.0, unlike what we know as Web 2.0, which is internet and social media. What we're looking at here is Web 3.0, where we can take all of this to the next level and enter a digital space where the current normal real world transactions can take place. So what you can see over here, layer upon layer, we are being able to build assets and earn and leverage off them in this particular space. But let's just quickly have a look at what the value of this industry actually is globally, which is pretty phenomenal. The gaming industry currently at 2021 in the US was $65.4 billion US. I guess it is time for those of us who don't understand it is to just sit up, take notice, and see how we can leverage and become part of it. The consumer spending is massive, $11.6 billion. And in the year 2021, the gaming industry hardware revenue alone was an industry valued at $472 million US. So how do you and I get to participate in this? How do we get to benefit from this? Because huge companies like Warner Music are moving into this space, and they're also pouring billions into the development of metaverses, which is ultimately going to take over from social networks. Not only that, metaverse real estate opportunities are becoming available, where you and I can own land digitally anywhere in the world. I'm limited with the South African passport to where I can go and own and live and enjoy the benefits of another country. But digitally through the metaverse, all of that changes. The opportunities are endless. So we spoke about your principal account, your performance account, your potential account, and your pay card account, and how these all work together. So you're going to enter into the world of cryptocurrency by taking your fiat currency, your rands, dollars, ringgits, yen, whatever your currency is, through an exchange and create your performance account as well with a portion of that, as Eugene showed you. And then you have your potential account and a pay card account, which are the next ones that we're going to be sharing with you. So you're going from your local bank through the exchange, and the recommended splits on how you should put your funds into the account. Again, this is a recommendation of how you can share your portfolio and share your assets across various cryptocurrencies and not have all your eggs in one basket. And then Eugene showed you how going through a smart wallet contract, you can earn rewards on a decentralized exchange like PancakeSwap. What if we could show you an opportunity where you could take your fiat currency through an exchange like Nexo and bring it into a metaverse, a digital world, a virtual world, where all of this takes place, where you can then generate and earn those cryptocurrencies to then feed back into your principal account. Well, let me introduce you to GS Partners and reintroduce you to Eugene Blichnight. Thanks, Eugene.
Awesome. Yeah, Denise. So just to make everyone aware of how things are structured in the metaverse, it's really, really nice because you now have the ability to actually go into a multifunctional, multi-relational platform at the end of the day. What do we mean by that? It really means that a new digital era has been created with a metaverse as we know it. This metaverse platform is really considered like a super mall. So if you think of a super mall really gives you one place where you can get access to multiple goods and services. Now, this metaverse that sits within GS Partners is exactly a super mall, where you can get access to the meta mining, meta trading, brokerage, also digital land, city developments, NFTs, meta markets, the gaming side of things, and so much more. They are really, really putting a wonderful structure together where we can go and participate in this particular platform and go and explore, earn, and have fun. Now, in order to understand how GS Partners was created and the intention that was set behind it, it's really an opportunity for growth. And this growth is really centered around blockchain technology, Web 3.0, and also the metaverse. So when you combine the three of them together, you really get Lydian World, which is our metaverse space within GS Partners. And it is a place where you can go and design your role that you want to go and play. Just understand the products and services are vast in this and ever growing. So when you look at that, it's masternodes, plus then the staking pools. You even have an affiliate side to this particular program where you can actually even create a business online for yourself. You've got the world city developments, that digital land Janine was speaking about, and also products like the metaverse certificates where you can get access to mining, trading, brokerage, etc., and also the NFT marketplace. Now, let's just go into the metaverse certificates, and I really want everyone to understand this particular product that sits within this metaverse. Just understand that this certificate really provides you with this digital key where you can get access to different shops or different products that sits within the super mall. So the first product you can get access to with this key, with a certificate, is the Meta brokerage managed account. Now understand that they've gone and partnered with a company called BD Swiss, and BD Swiss is a large trading Forex company, and they must probably sit within the top 5 in the world where we can go and provide liquidity and they can go and do brokerage on our behalf for a potential reward. The second thing that this key gives you access to is the Meta Trade, where you can go and do manual trading on their platform and you can realize some profits should you wish to do that. Alternatively, if you do not have the knowledge in trading, you can even go into what is termed as copy trading, where you can go and provide liquidity and a professional that does his trades, all that will be copied accordingly for a potential yield. And then also the key also provides you access to the Meta mining side, which is similar to PancakeSwap that I just showed you guys. It is a syrup pool where you can go and participate in, provide liquidity for a APY yield at the end of the day, as this project, as this metaverse starts growing over time. And that's the potential I want to go and show with everyone. But just understand that there are 8 different certificates, 8 different keys to the super mall that you can go and acquire. So they all come with different benefits. They all come with different price ranges depending on what your need and your requirement is. The first one starts off with as low as $250 tether to purchase the key, all the way up to a Zeus $100,000. So it's really spread out for every individual and their requirement and their pocket size that they want to go and participate in. What I want to go and speak about is I want everyone to be really, really clear and have a great understanding on how these certificates and keys really work. So we're going to go into that second one called the Hermes, and the Hermes really is centered around those 3 different asset classes where you can get access to. But how does it work and what do I need to do in order to do that? So I want everyone to know that there are 2 parts to each of these certificates. The first part really is the purchase of the certificate. That's referred to as the price of the certificate. As you can see on my screen, this is $1,000 to go and purchase the certificate. Then there's a second part to the certificate, which is referred to as the max load. That's the liquidity you need to go and provide for this key to start working for you. So when you go and add those 2 together, so it will give you a total input cost of $2,000 tether. What happens when you go and max load the certificate? Really, really nice. It actually gives you a lot of information on the certificate information itself. It says there, once the Meta portfolio max load of $1,000 is achieved, a couple of gears start opening up for you. Namely, the first one is the bonus section where you will get access to $4,500 worth of bonus. And that's split in those 3 different asset classes, which is the mining, the trade, and the portfolio. Now, in order to get those bonuses, there are certain requirements and action steps needed to be taken. The first one is the max load of the certificate. Once you max load it, you then get access to the first bonus, which is your Meta portfolio bonus of $1,125. And this does change from the 1st of January. It will start reducing in value. But what does it mean for me in layman's terms? It just means that they take the 1,125 bonus, they add it to your max load, that goes into that brokerage portfolio, which then gets brokered for you. at an average reward of about 6% monthly. Now, why do we say it's an average of 6%? Because we are working in real Forex markets. And because of real markets that do fluctuate, that do have different cycles, like we've shown you guys, so that can mean that some months may be less, some months may be higher, but over a 18-month contract period, that could be the average potential for 18 months on a monthly basis. So the second part that comes to realization when you go and max load the certificate is that the price you pay for this key doesn't go lost in translation. Because you've gone and put liquidity in, because you're now letting this key work for you, that price that you paid for the certificate then starts bearing rewards at a weekly basis. And that's 4.15% on the price of the certificate. And that you get every 7 days. We will go and give you guys a live demonstration on how to actually withdraw that value from that and actually make it liquid and spendable. The second thing you need to understand is the price that you pay for the certificate also comes with value at the end of the day, and that you can deploy into that metaverse, into Lydian World, and that is called and referred to as Lydian Lions. That's the native token for this gaming platform, where you can take the 1,000 Lydian Lions, you can go and acquire yourself some digital citizenships, have a passport to earn from that country's GDP. It gives you access to some of the land and things like that, where now you can in future go and actually buy yourself some of that digital land for future growth, rental income, etc. So it's really, really exciting how this is all put together. Just understand that you also have the meta trade bonus available to you should you wish to participate in the manual trade or copy trading side of things. Just understand when you look at the copy trading, they have various professional traders that do look at different Forex and cryptocurrencies. So you can go and deploy some of your value into the oil reserves. You can have it on the rate of exchanges. You can even have it on cryptocurrency growth, etc. Dow 30, where you can go and leverage some of that for potential rewards. But just note, you've got to put liquidity into the trading in order to receive that bonus. Now, also the third one is the meta mining bonus that you can get. You will get that bonus once you go and max load that meta mining certificate. And remember, like I said, the meta mining is just a fancy word for a syrup pool. So once you go and put value into that syrup pool, you can go and pay some of those annual percentage yields. Now, that's a little bit from my side on that. Just understand that there are various strategies when it comes to looking at the metaverse and things like that specific to these certificates. So the first strategy really is you could buy one of these certificates, go and max load it, and then start earning on a weekly and quarterly basis. So you do have two options available, and Janine will show you guys how that works, is that you have a withdrawal approach or a compound approach. Now, what's the difference and how does it work? Really, really simple. Every 7 days when you do receive your 4.15% reward, you then have the choice to go and withdraw that reward and put it in the bank, or you can go and recompound it into the ability that you can earn more on that 6% average. Now, we do have a different strategy in place that I go and teach the community, and I do refer to it as the stacking of search strategy. Now, what does stacking mean? It just means that you can go and take those rewards, withdraw all of them, and whenever you have enough rewards to go and buy an additional certificate, you can go and do that. Why do you want to do that? Because at the end of the day, you want to grow your asset portfolio. You don't necessarily want to go and just deploy more monies into this. You want your rewards to start working for you. And also the main reason is you would like to earn more of the 7-day rewards on multiple certificates, opposed to just putting your money into compound. So that's something to think about. We can always talk about this at a later stage should you wish to know more. But it also gives you the ability to earn cryptocurrencies, which is really, really nice from those rewards. And also, like I said, you actually can go and create what is called an effective plan with this company and this platform, where you can go and earn yourself cryptocurrency rewards real time. Okay, no delayed payments, none of that stuff. Remember, this all works on blockchain and smart contracts. So whenever there's a purchase made, commissions are distributed immediately at real time. And you can do that by promoting this particular platform and product to friends, family, colleagues, and you can go and earn some of that commissions. And how is it all structured, and how do I actually understand the reward plan? This is one of them, and this is the most, well, I don't want to say complex, but it's really, really, once you understand how this works, it's really powerful. So you do have 9 levels that you get paid in commissions. So typically in a general business, if you were a property salesperson or a vehicle salesperson, you would then earn, let's call it, I don't know what they get, 5% commission or 6% commission on selling a house. So you would get that commission for selling the house. Imagine if you then could create a team of people selling houses and you earn commissions off everything that they sell. So the company's really gone and done that and created this. So whenever these certificates and product get sold, you then have the ability to go 9 levels in depth in order to earn commissions. So that really starts changing the way we look at things. But I'm going to end it off right there, and we're going to go into a live share on how exactly these certificates work and how we can actually realize some of those payments. I'm going to go and hand you guys back to Janine. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I wish everyone a wonderful day further. Thanks, Janine.
Thank you so much, Eugene, for that and giving us the background on how this metaverse all comes together, bringing all the information you've already shared together. So what I'm going to do now is I've decided I'm going to go out and open up my back office in this particular space. So my GS Partners back office. This is what it looks like. You'll see all the different cryptocurrencies. We don't need to go into that detail right now. But, you know, when you work together with a group of people in a community where you share ideas and strategies and you're friends and you have a great relationship, I have taken up the stacking strategy that Eugene spoke to you a little bit about, and I want to show it to you in action. The most important thing I want you just to focus on is this block over here, which is a red circle with G Euro. Now, G Euro is a stable coin linked to the euro. BD Swiss, as a trading company, which is our tech partner, is based in Europe, and those rewards are paid out in G Euros, just like USD is a stable coin to the dollar. So just look at this figure over here, 1756. I'm going to go down to my meta portfolio and go into my portfolio of certificates, and you will see that I have a couple of certificates that say 0. What that really means is I've purchased the certificate or I've earned the certificate through a company promotion, but I have not yet loaded that certificate. You know, that $1,000 load for all the benefits to kick in that Eugene spoke about. So I'm going to scroll down past those certificates that still need to be loaded, and I'm going to take you to one that is 100% loaded. So you'll see the 100%, which is the $1,000 purchase, and then the additional bonus of 1125. I'm now going to go and click on load more because I want to see if I can go and withdraw or compound. And yes, absolutely, since the 15th of December, my 4.15% was available from the 15th. Today is the 17th. So because it's 2 days later, that $41.50 is now 47.42 USD. And I have the choice to withdraw or to compound, because I'm choosing the stacking strategy. And what that means is I have purchased 3 certificates. Every week I withdraw on those 3 certificates to accumulate enough for me to take my rewards and purchase more assets without taking any more money out of my pocket. So how does it work? I'm just going to go and click on withdraw. You will see there's a difference between G Euro and USD due to exchange rates. I'm going to choose to withdraw to my wallet. Yes, okay, success, fantastic. And if I scroll down, you can see all the rewards that I have already withdrawn on this particular certificate since its inception. And there you can see at the bottom, account is credited, it's blockchain, it's live, it happens instantly. Let me go back to my portfolio and let me go and check if I have opportunities on any of my other certificates that I've been accumulating. So we did that one. Let's go to this one over here and see if we can go and, yes, this was available on the 13th of December. So we're going to go and click on withdraw on this one as well. withdraw to my wallet. This time it's 55.9 euros, and I'm going to go withdraw, and that was success. Fantastic. I can go and see all my previous withdrawals there as well. It's all live. There you can see my account has been credited. I'm going to go back to my portfolio because remember I said to you I have chosen 3 certificates in my stacking strategy. And let's go to the third one, which was my first certificate I purchased on the 23rd of July. And let's have a look. No, this one is only due on the 23rd of December, but I can go and see all the previous withdrawals I have done on that particular certificate. So now let's go back to the dashboard. Do you remember the figure that I had there before? I think it was 1,700 and something euros. Well, let's go and see what that has changed to. And there we have it. We just got to move out some of the company promotion information. 1,856 euros, almost 2,000 euros is available there. What I can do, I have options. I can go down to financial and I can go and convert that euro into USD, and I can take it back to my exchange and turn it back into fiat currency should I choose to. Alternatively, I can take that euro, convert it into USD, and here it will give me 1,918 USD, which means I'm actually just 82 USD away from having $2,000, because what could I do with that 2,000 USD? I can take it and go and load 2 of those certificates that are not yet loaded and earning me income, which means since the 23rd of July, I have accumulated all these rewards to now go and acquire myself another asset. For me, that's a really smart way of growing assets and growing and increasing my income. I'm really, really excited about that. And I may just go and top it up with a little bit to make sure that I can do that today, because if I can start earning those 4.15% straight away, I'd be really, really pleased about that. So I'm just going to get us back to the presentation that we were on earlier on and make sure that we are on the right page. To just recap, and somehow it happens to me all the time, I have a real problem recapping from the current slide. So let me just try that once more and see if I can get that right for us here. And let's see. No, we're just not getting that one right. What is going on here, guys? The technical team that normally helps me here. What is happening? Why are we not getting to that particular slide that I want to get to? How do we go from current slide here? I seem to struggle with this every single time we do this, guys. Let me just move through and just go all the way past, if you don't mind me just flicking past what Eugene shared to get to where we are right. Thank you very much. Sorry for the delay. So we spoke about your principal account, your performance, your potential, and your PayPal account. And we've now shown you a platform where all of this comes together in one. Like I said to you, I took my rands through an exchange. I put some cryptocurrency in there. I then went to a performance account. I earned myself some interest. I was able to loan against my principal account and bring it into a potential account. And that's what you've just seen by me showing you the GS Partners platform. And a principal account, we've got that spread. And by having a performance account, like Eugene showed you in PancakeSwap, you can take those profits and bring them back into your principal account. You can then take them from your principal account into a potential account like GS Partners, which we've just shown you, and then take some of your profits. So like Eugene said, we have a huge amount of support available to everybody on a one-on-one basis, as well as through Facebook, through Telegram, and some of our various channels that we have available. And I really, really do encourage you and urge you to explore, as Michelle said, come and hold hands with us. Come and hold hands with us within this community so that we can guide you and show you and take you through this process one by one, answer your questions, get you the support that you need, and get you the help that you need. So we're at that time now where it's about time for us to do that giveaway. But before we do that giveaway, I just want to show you one last slide. And this one that I wanted really to show you, and hopefully this one comes up properly, is our Meta coaches. So they are almost all ready to hang up their servant leader hats and coats for the year. but I really just wanted to give them a massive, massive shout out and thank you, Natalie, our support in Dubai, and the rest of the team from around the world that have taken people through this journey in this current year, 2022. And as we head into the 2023 year, we're always looking for individuals who are wanting to step up and get to the next level themselves and maybe see a place for themselves within our community. Reach out to us and let's see how we can get you involved and let's help get you more and more educated. So I believe Michelle is assisting me today with the draw. I'm going to ask all the mentor coaches to please put their cameras on so that everybody can see who the worthy winner is. And what we've done is we have a random selector. We've got everybody who registered and is on the call. And remember, you've got to be on it to win it. You got to be on the call when we call out your name. We're going to randomly select a winner. Once we do that, we're going to promote that person to a panelist, which means you also need to then put your camera on. And what I am going to suggest is if you are naked, quickly rush, grab something you can cover up with so that we can see who you are, because we really want to see who we can give $500 worth of crypto to either continue building your portfolio or start your portfolio with. So Mish, are you ready?
I am ready, Janine, and I'm super, super excited. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. So we are going to spin the wheel. Everybody ready? If you're ready, put ready in the chat. Who's ready to win some crypto? Let's get some excitement going. Ooh. Let's see. What's the lucky number? Lucky number. Lucky number 15.
Lucky number 15.
Let's stop share. I am going to be sharing with Eugene who the winner is. And then he's going to promote the winner as panelists. So you all need to wait a little bit patiently for me.
Doing a sterling job, Michelle. We're all waiting with bated breath.
Ooh, this is a bit of an odd Zoom name, guys. I am not sure exactly, but I'm going to type it in exactly as it is in the name. Let's see. Have you got it, babes?
Come on, babes, we need a winner.
Super exciting, because even I don't know who this is.
Wonderful. I hope whoever's out there is ready to put their camera on for us so we can celebrate with you. Stop thinking about what you're going to do with crypto.
You're going to have a message pop on your screen. Say join as panelist. You need to accept that for us, please.
We should be singing jingle bells or something.
If you're not accepting the promotion, you're going to lose that. We're going to redo the $500 reward. I've done it twice now. I'm doing it for the last time.
Okay, third time, and then we spin again.
Okay, so if something's popping up on your phone or your screen right now saying join as panelist, please click on join. If not, we're going to go again.
Okay, let's go again.
We're going again. Okie dokie.
I want $500.
Okay, let's spin again. Give me a second. Yeah, 100%. We're ready. Let's go, let's go. Let's see who's on now. There we go. Lucky number 13. Let's see, let's see. Okay, I've got a name. I hope you're ready.
The things we do when we connect from home-based businesses. There's rain has started and hail on a tin roof. So excuse me moving around. It's going to rain on the winner. It's going to rain.
There we go. Please put on your camera and unmute yourself.
Camera and unmute. We are waiting for you.
I can just imagine running
just
them
saying,
running
"Here I
around
am."
going, how do I do this? There we go.
It's the little video thing at the bottom of your screen. If you haven't done this before, it's the little microphone and it's the little camera. Garth saying congrats.
Congrats, Freehold. Are you able to unmute?
Yeah, can you hear me?
There we go.
There we go.
We can hear you.
Congratulations, Freehold.
Thank you.
Do you own any crypto already?
Yes, I do.
Fantastic. And how have you enjoyed this morning's session? And have you learned what's been one nugget that you can take away from today?
Yeah, it was very enlightening. Just a pity the signal just kept on falling out, but I'm going to listen to the recording. It was very good.
Super, super awesome. Congratulations. I'm not sure if Michelle, Eugene want to add their well wishes to you.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So from my side, congratulations. What we will do for you is most probably from Monday, Tuesday next week, we will get hold of you. We will send you an email to you directly where we will ask you for your cryptocurrency wallet address so that we can actually send that reward to you at your preferred wallet. So yeah, that's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Awesome, Freehold. Huge congratulations from us. I know you're going to get tons more value watching the recording and putting your crypto to work somewhere. That's it from our side, guys. May you all have a very blessed Christmas and New Year's. We look forward to regrouping with you in January again, where we kickstart 2023 super, super strong with phenomenal group of people. Janine, thank you so much. Over to you, my friend.
Awesome, awesome experience today again. Thank you so much. And a huge shout out to the whole team. You've heard from the meta coaches. You've heard how education before speculation. I'm sure you realize and will agree with me, small hinges can swing very big doors. And as Eugene so very wisely said, you don't have to be great to start. None of us were. None of us knew any of this, but we just got started. We took one step at a time, grabbed hands with partners, and we're doing this journey together. Everything you need to succeed is already inside of you. That's the message from me for the ending of 2022, and we will see you in 2023. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks everyone.